How you doing, Brian King? You shut up.
How you doing, Brian King, UK Flooring TV? We're back over in Telford at Dan's shop. This is for April's monthly roundup. This month's special guest is LVT Fitter of the Year finalist, all-round Mr Nice Guy and floor ninja himself, Luke Johnson. How you doing, Luke?
I'm good, thanks, Brian. Thanks for having me.
You alright, Luke?
Yeah.
And our very own Dan Jones. Alright, Dan?
How you doing? Fine, thanks.
Soon come round these months, don't they?
Yeah,
We've just been on about how time's flying this year.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem 2 minutes ago I was here with Oxford City Flooring.
No, I work it out by my ball patch. I keep seeing it getting bigger.
Keeps getting harder, yeah. Luke, you've started your training centre, a new training centre. How did that come about?
Well, that's come about from
Your TikTok, really.
yeah. Well, Floor Ninja actually come around from TikTok purely about a year and a bit ago when I sort of finally give in to the TikTok. You know, TikTok being so popular, not being on it. Finally gived in and downloaded it because my boy was constantly on it watching it. I was like, well, you know, as a family we all done. I thought download it first, and I don't understand how to use this, but persevered. And then I thought, you know, for business, I'm not one for doing personal stuff on social media too much. So I thought, from business, I need to get in amongst this. And like with anything, you have to think of a handle. So I wanted to do something quite quirky because a lot of the guys out there that are doing well on social media often got quite a quirky handle. So although at the time I was iBuilder Renovations, I was Bob the Builder with a Stanley knife, if you all know, or that's a rumour anyway. I am just sort of thinking about handles and just like flirting with loads of different names and ideas, and then end up landing on Floor Ninja.
It is a catchy name.
I actually really like that. So that, yeah, it's purely just a TikTok handle for even.
And the logo's good as well.
Yeah, so it's purely just a TikTok handle for my presence on TikTok, even when I was, you know, iBuilder Renovations. And then it's actually just sort of grown from there to a point that last year when I was away on holiday for 2 weeks, I just sort of sat and thought, you know, what I actually want to do. Obviously my love's always really been with flooring. That's the first trade for the last 20 years. The renovation game I love. You know, obviously you can do multiple different things, but it's a hard industry. You know, we think the flooring industry is hard. Making money out of building work is even harder, especially when you're like me, so OCD, attention to detail.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just sort of was leaning more back to flooring and think, yeah, that's where my love is. That's where I'd say my main skill set is. And a year or so ago, obviously I was helping out at Carney for a little bit, briefly. Ended up sort of get thrown in the deep end there, to be honest. I thought I was going out to help and shadow another person. Sort of turned up the first day and was like, yeah, got a level 2 course in today. Crack on. And I was like,
Threw you straight in.
yeah, like, alright, okay, cool. You know, it's like, yeah, we're gonna just show them how to scribe ply, and then yeah, then you're doing this. Like, okay, not expected, but yeah. Anyway, I quickly embraced that and really enjoyed it. Me and the guys sharing tips and tricks. So yeah, that obviously very quickly fizzled out over 3-4 months due to other reasons. But after that, I sort of had that little bit between the teeth, you know. And through my social media, I've been helping out with tips and trick videos for, well, since I've had it. Social media, Instagram, Facebook, anyway. So I often get guys contacting me like, you know, how'd you do that? What size should that be? Or, you know, how's that work for this? And you know, in the background, I'm always helping other people. But I just got to the point, yeah, when I was on holiday, I was like, actually, the training, I still want to do it. You know, I didn't want to be a full-time trainer. I didn't want to go and work for someone else and be a full-time trainer. But I did want to have input because I do love the trade and I want to give something back, not just take.
Yeah, yeah.
So and that's the idea of helping people, yeah? I love seeing others succeed. So I very luckily stumbled across this unit. As anyone knows, it's on a farm local to me. It's not, you know, ideally I could do with another 20 square metres floor space, but anyway, this unit come up at a brilliant rate, and I just thought, this is it. Because before that, what I was going to do, still going to do the training, but I was going to add some wholesalers through the south of the UK that I was going to basically
do a weekly.
Yeah, I was going to, you know, get some dates and be like one here, remotely from their location, which is not ideal because they didn't have the perfect setup. It would have been a bit more of like drop some 8x4 sheet supply download, which I know you can still teach and show guys stuff on, but it wouldn't have been ideal. But then this unit come up and I was like, I'm running with it. And I thought, what's the worst that can happen? I've got a little unit that's brilliant, at a very good price.
You need a good car park as well, because you're going to get 5 vans turning
with parking. And I just thought, worst case scenario for me, because I'm going back myself more flooring, selling and supplying and installing flooring as well. I just thought, worst case, I'll have an appointment only showroom. Yeah. If no one wants to book and come on a training course, for the money that the unit cost me, I can then have an appointment only showroom. So it's win-win. Luckily, it's only been going off, so I'm only 3 courses in now. It's only been technically open for 3.5 weeks, 4 weeks, and the bookings are sort of flying in. So I'm very spoiled, you know. I've already said to everyone I really appreciate all the help. So
well, I've always said that there can't be enough training. Offered training, because if you look at the amount of floor layers in the country, and there's only a very small handful of training centres.
Well, yeah, compared to how many guys are out there, definitely.
Yeah. But
I think although it's small, you know, everyone's spoilt. We are spoilt because there's some brilliant training providers out there, brilliant training centres out there.
But the travelling for some is a bit of a pain, isn't it? If you're more local to one, it's easier to go to your local one. I mean, I've not heard ever a bad thing about a course that anyone's run. I've never heard anyone come and say, oh, the course was no good, I didn't learn anything. Never ever heard that. So I'd say the quality of training in the UK is quite good.
Yeah, very good. Brilliant.
I'm just lucky in being now that obviously I am the furthest south training centre. So again, last week's course I had a guy, Mark from Karma Flooring, and James a week before from Essex. You know, James done a 2-hour commute to and from both days, but for him it's like, you know, you're at like 2 hours closer than the next one.
Yeah.
Which he wouldn't be able to do that.
Yeah.
You know, so 2 guys alone booked with me purely because of location, and they followed my socials before, so you know it wasn't purely just because of, oh, you're the furthest south. They did do a bit of due diligence. Yeah, all right. So you know,
and on your courses as well, it's like with all the training centres, they all seem to sing from the same input. So you're all doing more or less the same methods, and like you've been to other training centres and been taught there. So are you taking that knowledge to there?
So my main training that I done was in my earlier years, to be honest. So my main LVT training was from Neil Andrews 11 years ago at Carndine. That just correlated with when I got my first retail premises. Obviously, I wanted the Carndine stands. As a byproduct of that, the rep actually sold me all 3 courses. So when I turned up with Neil Andrews with my cousin Dan, who's been by my side for the last 15 years, on the level 1 or the basic or whatever it course was, after sort of a couple of hours, Neil Andrews was like, "What the hell are you two doing here?" Like, because we were with 2 kitchen installers, you know, that wanted to fit their own LVT to make the money. 2 guys that were, you know, contract guys that were just think sent there by the firm, and Neil was sort of like, "You two can, you know, what are you doing there?" I said, "Well, the rep told us we had to do all 3 courses." He's like, he just laughed. He's sold you a bung one there.
He's a rep for a reason.
Yeah, exactly. He's a great salesman. But no, it worked well, and obviously we had the pleasure of doing all 3 courses with Neil Andrews back then. And as we all know, the LVT game 11 years ago is very different to now.
Yeah.
You know, techniques for sort of scribing herringbone hadn't been thought of yet. And I remember being there with Neil Andrews on the course, and we obviously covered herringbone. The day before we'd done diamond tiles. Right, and thinking back now, it's so silly because we'd done diamond tiles. And obviously what did Neil Andrews show us? You make a bigger template for your diamond to scribe your tiles in on the wall. Right? But then when we done on the advanced, when we were doing herringbone, it was shown a different way, like an old school where you turn it around, marking it, joining it up.
But it's the
I
same
remember saying to Neil,
tile,
like, and he, on the course, so that other people have confirmed this, he'd say, you know, when you're doing herringbone, always sell a border because it's so much easier to obviously lap it over, cut it in. And I remember saying to him, like, going, "Neil, there must be a way of scribing this in." And he was like, "Yeah, there's got to be, but I just haven't thought of it. Yeah, no one's thought of it yet." And then obviously, you know, a few years after that, the scribe method is worked out. You know, it's just point to point, exactly like we do on laying diamonds on the floor.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, now this is all well, like you say, all the training centres are pretty much showing the same thing. You know, we can't already. There's only really sort of one way. A parallel scribe is a parallel scribe.
Yeah.
But you can do it in different ways. So yeah, you're right. We're all showing it. What I'm just trying to do differently with mine is teach you guys a bit more about business. Again, I'm getting like-minded guys that work for themselves, whether it be out of a van, whether you've got a shop. Just help guys make money from the trade by being a top-class installer. Because I think that's what is lacking a little bit. It's just everyone's focused on cutting a bit of LVT into a skirt and then getting that gram shot. That's honestly, I'll put it on my social media. So that's 2% of it.
Well, you got first of all, before you can do that tile, you've got to sell that tile to the customer, and yourself. You've got to sell as well, haven't you?
Yeah, exactly.
And if you know everything about it, and you're telling them the things that might pop up, and this, that, and the other, and then another man comes, and he just measures it up and tells them it's 1,100 quid and goes away. Whereas you've told them it might need this, or we're going to come and do a damp test. That bloke's never done a damp test, and you've sold yourself there straight away, haven't you?
Yeah, exactly that. I think most like you two, we've all built ourselves a brand and reputation now that our local customers buy into. Yeah. And I always say to my customers, first thing on a quote, I say, if you get 3 quotes, do you want the cheapest quote? If they say yeah, I say, look, well, let's not waste each other's time. Yeah. And I always say to them, I will probably be your most expensive quote, but
you don't do a price.
Do your due diligence. I'm not there to hard sell. I'm not so force you get onto the Instagram, look at portfolios, but I just straight up with them, because I'm not gonna just turn up and hash it in. But at the same time, you're gonna get value for money for me. But if the customer wants the cheapest quote, I can't do that.
You don't do a price war, no. But if they want a quality war, well, you're in.
Exactly.
Yeah, I say to my customer, I don't price match.
No,
I never do. That's my quote. That's what I need for doing it.
And it's your materials they don't see. If you're using bags of stuff that cost twice as much as you can buy other bags of stuff, like I'll use a professional gripper, titanium underlay, roller tape, not the cheapest tape, and them things all add up, but nobody sees them. You've got to sell them to the customer as well, haven't you? You can tell them that there is different stuff, but you prefer to use the premium products, or what you think are the premium products. And then your background history sells what you're selling, really, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And then, like you say, if you've got your social media, you can say, just have a look on my site, have a look at some pictures and
reviews.
And the beauty of other lads in the trade that when they say, the customer says, have you got a picture of anything like this been done? Well, you might not have done it yourself, but 200 other lads. And then the next thing you know, your phone's bleeped, there's a picture of the job. I mean, I asked Josh the other day for some Z-bar that went round the corner to show a lady how it would finish the carpet. Within 2 seconds, it's there you go. And then she looks at his thing. Not only does she like the way it goes round the corner, she wants to buy the same carpet that I've showed on the picture. So
But no, what we're touching on there is what I think is what we need to focus on in this trade, is bringing people together. We can all help each other earn money. Honestly, people don't do that. Everyone's just like wants to be a bit greedy.
Everybody's against each other.
I'm not showing
you that. I'm not showing you that, because then you can offer that service to my customers as well. And it's like, I've got my friend Scott Martin down in Southampton, my cousin Dan, who's been by my side for years, but he's his own man, that works for himself as well now. We team up. We can be a team.
He does some good work. I follow him on Instagram, isn't it?
Yeah. But we can be a team of 3 now, and we can go to big jobs, knock that out in a day. It might take someone else 3-4 days. But there's nothing better than going to work, earning each other money, but having guys that you're not worrying about all that banging upstairs.
You don't even have to talk to them, do you? They wander off up there, you wander off here, and it's done.
They have a running joke, because when I'm actually at work and earning money, I don't really say anything, and they will be chatting, and I'm like, So they always like me, because it's just a running joke, because they don't get nothing out of me, and I'm like, I'm like, right, let's go. Luckily with the training guys, I'm not like that.
All you get out of Brian is one line of a song at the top of his voice, coming from another room.
All there. I'm singing old country music. But
what courses do you offer, Luke? Is it just LVT, or do you do other things?
At the minute, so I've just offering LVT at the minute, one step at a time. One thing I've learnt in life and business is, learn to walk before you run. But at the minute, it's just LVT, because again, most of my videos out there are on predominantly LVT. And at the minute I'm doing an advanced course, which is basically filled on the 45 with border work, and then depending on the time, it's over 2 days. Obviously, we don't do any subfloor prep because I haven't got the space. But most of the guys that come on the course are already out there earning money. You're out there earning money from it already, so you understand that. We don't really stick anything down. We have these conversations in the background, chat about things, but It's purely about fitting the product and getting that to the Floor Ninja standard, you know. So the advance is about field on the 45, border work, and then all being well, we get time, people pick it up, the fundamentals, then I'll show them more fancier stuff, as like some of the courses last week, yesterday, we done a few, nothing groundbreaking, you know, just silly little corners, a little bit of marquetry, just, yeah, once they've mastered the basics, I'm happy to do that. But even on all my courses, the first thing the guys do, they go back to basics. You know, guys coming on a herringbone course yesterday, the first thing they do is fit 3 rows of straight leg.
Well, advanced is a bag of basics.
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
No, but
it's a bigger bag of basics.
But anyone that's been on the courses going forward, you know, you come in, you'll be going back to basics straight away, because then I of course then do my, you know, I show them my way of doing it. And it's not to say that my way is the best way out there. I'm just showing you how I work and how I earn money and how I achieve a top finish.
Yeah.
That's that. So yeah, the advance is a plank border. Herringbone, again, I say to the guys, they're both the same thing, to be honest. You're scribing something on a 45. It's just, is the plank this big or is it this big?
Yeah.
So it's actually the same fundamental method. So anyone that comes on one of them doesn't need to come on the other one, because you'll have all the skill set. I know I could be doing myself out of courses here, but I'm straight up transparent.
Yeah.
The other thing I've recently launched every week, which has been way popular and unexpected, is the one-to-one courses.
Right.
So there's not set dates for that. Obviously, it's on their website. People can book anything via the website. But if you book one-to-one course, we then organise a date. It's just me and you for the day.
It'll be like a kind of bespoke course.
Yeah, and it's one-to-one. And again, we'll go through what you want to go through. But essentially, when you get there, I'm going to see where you're at, and we're going to go from there.
Right.
But yeah, that was a bit of a thing, because I'm lucky with my setup. I can offer that. I appreciate other training centres got to keep the lights on, got to pay bills. They might not be able to do that. I can, and yeah, I've had 5 bookings of that in the last week. So.
Right. Right, Dan. Should we take a look at what we've seen this month? Anything interesting? This first one for me is Matt Stevens from Welshpool.
Yeah.
He's apprentice. He's only 2 months into the trade and not fitted anything yet. And this is his first attempt at some flight of stairs. His name's Lewis Walton. 2 months, not doing anything to that. I think that's brilliant. And he's done it Hollywood style as well. Yeah. So after 2 months, I was still cutting underlay with shears and.
I was fitting cupboards after 2 years still.
No, 2 months. I was still knocking chunks out of skirting boards. Next one, the finished. We had Dan Jones on from Oxford City Flooring last month, and he was doing this tabletop, like a worktop in LVT for a showroom. So this is the finished product, which I think is brilliant. It's a good idea. He's got the stir rods bendable round the edge, but like he said, it's like a worktop, but showcasing what they can do. So that stood out for me again. Also, Rob Fitzgerald, he keeps putting pictures on of his prep. That gripper from he's spot on. You get a lot of people. Just
needs another nail there.
No, he's got a staple though.
Yeah,
you get a lot of people calling things like this.
I just did it, didn't
I? When you get used to that, what does it take? An extra 10 seconds? And
there is these arguments with primary fixings and things. I can have a personal opinion though, can't I?
Yeah.
I'd say that when you have got 20 staples in them, because you've got 2 in each, well, how many fixings do you need in that much? I mean, I don't think a grip fast or pre-nail is going to make any difference in to that situation there. And I think that you try and knock nails in, you blow off your
gripper apart.
Yeah. Depending on what gripper you use, mine's not too bad, but any other gripper, you put a little nail in it and it's all over the place. You're just left with a bit of the ply on the floor. So I agree that. I mean, primary fixings on your main lengths, they should be as they are, but I'd say architraves, in my opinion, and I don't teach anything, staples are fine.
I staple mine.
Yeah.
So. This by Dan Evans, flat weave, it's just a straight flight of stairs, looks nice, but The laser, I think that's a cracking idea. Like, is that something you use a lot? A laser?
Well, that exact laser
like
is one that I've promoted the last few years.
What is it?
Hupar, but great. I've got a £500 DeWalt one on the van, all singing, all dancing, and I've got this one. I think recently I
Does that do the roof as well?
You can get that
so you can
for,
align your things to the...
Yeah, everything. It's a 12-line laser. It's got 2 bottom top, but that is 160 quid at the minute. You can get that for.
Really?
But the good thing I like about it is my DeWalt laser, even though it's so expensive, it's a 3mm line. Yeah. That's constantly a 1mm line. Even 5 metres away, it's still 1mm.
Right.
So for me, that's more accuracy.
And you can see it in broad daylight.
But yeah, no, that's using a laser. I've done something similar to that. I don't do too much flat weave or stair runners, so I'm not going to lie. My stair runners would be the carpet whipped up on the edges. Yeah. But I know like Dan and a lot of the guys now are unbelievable with some of this flat weave stuff.
See, I do a lot of runners, but I have blocks on the side. But that's a cracking idea, that.
I normally just cut, like, so you're saying, a block and keep it true down one side.
Yeah,
so
I always see people with 2 blocks, but it's what you just, which wool are you using? Choose your stringer, that's the straight one.
Exactly.
You're levelling it off one side only. You can't level off 2, because if the stair goes out here and there, well, you can roughly, but I would personally just 1 block down the side.
I'm guilty, I use 2.
Yeah, but what 2 blocks does is when you drop it down, your carpet actually sits between the 2 blocks, so it holds it there, doesn't it? You don't have to. You don't have to move it around. But I would go with. I wouldn't even have a block. I'd have something that I'd cut on site or something. But
I usually use like gripper,
or something,
just as a guide. But I think that's a cracking idea. In fact, I'm going to get
a laser,
and it does the width as well as the length.
I am a chalk line, string, and tape measures man, but you got to move with the times.
Well, I do a lot of like woven stuff, pattern stuff, and I use like a string line or my 2 metre straight edge to deceive everything. But you know what I mean, one of them bottom of the room. I think it's a cracking idea.
Yeah.
But also, this
is that
is that LVT?
Was it Baroque?
It can't be Baroque.
You wouldn't spend that much time on Baroque, would you?
I've seen this picture of it. Is this one of the American lads? Is it? Or is it?
It's Skip Jones. It is American.
Skip Jones.
I think.
Because this is Click as well, isn't it?
Oh, is it Click?
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
I thought it was, but it might not be. But I thought if it is Click, it's even more impressive.
And he stripped the top off the Click as well, yeah.
It's even more, but it might not be. Yeah. I remember seeing this post, and that's.
But it looks well, doesn't it? Yeah.
Some work must have gone into that.
I've got to have some beers. I'd break my neck on that.
I don't think he's selling that again anytime soon. Put it that way.
This, I've seen this pop up a few times. That's. Where would you start?
I don't know. It's making me dizzy.
That's some staircase.
No, at the bottom.
Do you know, I'd love
to. You didn't disappoint.
I'd love to know where this is and who fitted it, but I don't know.
I think obviously the photo is very filtered, isn't it? It's had a lot of tweak in the photo, but I'm sure it still looks
to get it all in.
Amazing in real life.
See, all the stir rods are bent.
All I see is the infinity sign when I look at that.
Also, this one of yours, this Dan?
Yeah, that's just one I've seen. It looks tidy off Instagram. So
who's that?
BR Flooring. Where are they from?
Bromley. What is that? What's that?
It's a tape sewed onto.
What carpet is it?
Brockways.
Yeah.
Is it
like a flat weave?
Yeah, that looks smart.
Lakeland.
That's good.
Oh, that's just a nice carved carpet from abroad.
Oh, is it
Looks
carved?
nice, doesn't it? Yeah, and carved and.
Oh yeah,
look nice. Yeah. It's just something catchy. You know what? There's not that many carpet jobs. That looks nice.
What's this?
Well, if you look at it, you just see a pink bedroom. But if you actually zoom in, them snakes are woven into the carpet. Look.
Studio Ashby.
Yeah.
Where do you know where they're from?
No, I don't think they're from these shores.
So would that be put in as it's made?
This must be, or someone's over tufted it, which I think would be pretty impossible unless you got it with no backing on it.
Yeah.
But what does it say? Silk, walls, moire, wine is
designed.
Yeah, it's good anyway.
Yeah,
something different. Well, it's different.
Yeah.
Yeah, another
one of yours. Who's this, Dan?
Yeah, it's just something off Instagram again. Fabrica Floor from. Not these shores again. That's it from the other end.
Another American one, is it?
Yeah. I don't think it's America actually. I think it was like a French or Italian.
You never go wrong with black and white combo.
No.
Yeah, you don't see much border work now in carpet, do you?
No.
Not like they used to be.
No.
Like 15, 20 years ago, there used to be quite a bit of it, but you don't really see a lot of it now. Which is a shame, I think, because it looks brilliant.
Yeah.
Also, I've seen pop up over the last few weeks, Daniel Thompson. He's done this motif. It's like a lion. Do you do any motif work or anything on your courses, Luke?
At the minute, I don't. No. I feel like that would be more suited for the guys, me and someone doing it in a one-to-one basis, because
yeah, looks like a lot of work's gone
I don't
into
think there's
it.
a massive demand for it. I've had one guy contact me asking if am I going to run a motif course. At the minute, I'd say book a one-to-one, and it's just me and you for 10 hours, and we can do whatever you want. Obviously, I've got the table in the training centre that I've made the table myself and put LVT on it, just wood plank for now, hashed in. So can always sort of do different designs on that. But yeah, no, Daniel, I've seen a lot. I don't know Daniel personally. I've only seen he's sort of popped up on social media more recently.
He's done a step-by-step thing with it. I think he's been working on it for a couple of weeks.
He's got the bug for LVT in it. I sort of went through this stage about 6-7 years ago, but I've got fed up of picking the bit of ply up and all the cuttings up around the house. So it's everywhere. It gets, you know, it's like when you cut with back bare things, it gets everywhere. But now I've got my obviously very own little playground. I hope to do some more fancier stuff, but initially just sort of focusing on let's get the fundamentals.
That's the most important thing.
I don't think you should really be worrying about doing things like this if you're not competent with the basics. But obviously, I imagine Daniel was very competent with basics.
It looks like he'd be alright.
I think he's sending it to Paddy, isn't he?
Yeah,
I think I saw something sending it because Paddy's got
bit of artwork there.
Matt Perkinson's Big Ben, and I think he's got a few other things. So yeah, I like it anyway. It looks good. Also, what's this, Dan?
That's the Martindale abrasion and pilling tester, which moves us on to something else, doesn't it?
And what does that do, Dan?
That actually tests the carpet, does a rub test on a carpet, so you can test how durable it is, how long it will last, and it's also a comparative test between other materials of the same sort. It's called the Martindale rub test. That machine there is abrasion and pilling test, so it's doing the rub test and the pilling as well. I don't really know how it works, but I know that it rubs the carpet. They see how many times it rubs it before it either wears through in a hole. It must be a specific size. I'll find out more about that for next time we come, see if we can get a video. But basically, the reason that that's up there is because we've got some tape here, haven't we, from Jasper Woven.
Yeah.
Got a roll of their herringbone here, which we've been having a play with. It's nice and flexible stuff, herringbone tape. This, it's got quite a bit of movement in it, so you can curve it a little bit. So what we've done, I've just curved that round there just to show that that's curved round the corner. It's quite a big arc, that is, but there's been no work on the back of the rug to get it to that stage. So I mean,
so it's not, you've not split it, right?
I've not had to split it anywhere. So it's all one piece. Yeah. And then I just whipped it so it looked a bit nicer. But then this morning on the way to work, I thought, you know what, it'll go tighter than that. So I had a little quick 10 minutes. We've got it to that so far. So, but there was a bit of work on the back. Obviously, it's just a sample, but yeah, that's a tight bend there. I'm going to go for the circle next, as tight as I can get. So
with normal average binding tape, would you not be able to get that tight curve?
It does depend which one it is, but all of Paul's range will actually do that. I mean, I've worked with other ones. I've got there's an arc round here that I've done with Summit. I did notice it was on the floor here the other day. I mean, you can do it with other stuff, but it's just more work. I mean, there's about the same arc as that big one, apart from I've had to do some work on the back to get it round the corner. So I'd say that this is the most flexible I've worked with anyway.
So it stretches a lot more.
Yeah, it's good stuff. And again, he's had some rub tests done on his tapes as well. So he's been to BTG testing. He's had rub test and colour fastness tests on the tapes. So the herringbone has got an 80,000 rub test. and his basket weight weave tape has got a 90,000 rub test, but his Spartan polypropylene range, which is that's got 100,000 plus rub test, so that's suitable for commercial application. It's also water resistant.
I was going to say, is that the water
stain resistant as well. So he's also had a colour fastness test done on his tapes. So his herringbone has got a level 5, and his robust polypropylene tape, which has got 6+. And he's also done a tomato sauce test. If you look on Instagram at Jasper Woven, they've spilt some sauce on it and they've cleaned it off. So he's done a bit of testing with his gear to find out how good it is, and I think he's really impressed with it, and everyone else should be, because it's good gear. So we're giving Jasper Woven a push at the minute. It's good stuff, nice to work with, nice company. And we've also got the off the loom. There's some tapes behind. We've got the off the loom stair runners there, because just had the stand. It's good stuff, isn't it?
You keep seeing more and more all the time on off the loom and Jasper Woven.
You see a lot of Jasper tapes on there, don't you?
Yeah, and at Paul as well. You're dealing with a main man, and he's passionate as well in the industry.
Yeah.
He seems to do a lot for the industry.
Yeah, you can have a good chat with him and you learn something every time. I mean, I've learned about these rub tests. I did know of them before, but I didn't know specifics about them. So it's quite interesting, isn't it?
Yeah. Right, shall we move on to training centres?
Yeah.
Right, training centres. Let's see what's happening in the training world for April. Do you want me to start off? I'll start off with Fitter. Fitter, they've got a natural carpet course, which is a 2-day course, and that's on the 27th of April, and that's over in Loughborough. They've got a sheet vinyl cap and cove, which is a 1-day course, the 28th of April at Kilcoddy. Commercial vinyl, basic and intermediate, 4-day course, 24th of April at Kilcoddy. LVT basic, 3 days, 17th of April, also at Kilcoddy. LVT basic, 3 days, the 24th of April at Loughborough. Laminate and floating wood, which is a 2-day course, the 20th of April at Kilcoddy. Wood fitting intermediate, 3 days, the 12th of April at Loughborough. Subfloor prep, 1 day, 17th of April at Kilcoddy. And also another subfloor prep, which is 1 day, the 24th of April at Loughborough. So that's it from Fitter. Another busy month. What's going on at Floor Skills, Dan?
Well, we've got the open day. It's 21st of July, so that's a few months away. We've got the Wacol wood chevron herringbone with subfloor prep. That's the 11th to the 14th of September. We've got level 1 subfloor prep, 24th.
Did you do a reading course as well for you?
Right, level 1 subfloor prep, 24th of April. Level 2 subfloor prep, 1st of April. It's not a joke. Retail estimating and planning, 24th of April. We've got epoxy and PU resin level 1, 17th and 18th of April. LVT straight lay, plank and tile, 24th to 26th of April. Level 3 LVT, 19th, that's my birthday, to the 21st of April. That's herringbone borders and stairs. And then they've got custom LVT level 2, that's designs and motifs, that's 10th to 12th of May. And then we've got Harvey Maria, that's the 8th to 9th of May. And the 19th to the 21st of April, they've got a sanding and sealing course on wood floors.
Another busy month.
Paddy's got online course going on, so if you want to look on his website, Floor Training, there's some online courses going on, and also his normal courses are going on, so look on his website for that.
I wonder how it'll go, the online thing, because nobody's ever done it, have they?
No.
The biggest worry for me is if somebody like videos it and then it gets out.
I mean, it's open to the rest of the world, so I'd have thought that might have a better hit rate than if you did something just in this country, but
I know the Americans keep approaching Paddy and asking him.
I mean, it's a groundbreaking thing, really. Nobody knows. We'll see.
We'll see how it goes.
I think even Paddy's going to see, isn't he? So, I mean, I think he's got a lot of interest. There's one coming up, but we're going to miss that by the time this comes out. He's got the introduction. He's telling you how to build your bay ready for the course and the dimensions and that. So it's something different, isn't it?
Yeah, be interested to see how it goes. New training centre, what's opened? Flow Ninja training. New kid on the block. What's happening there this in April week?
So 2 courses are in at the moment. The 19th, 20th, an advanced course. There's only 1 space left on that. And then the 24th and 25th, a herringbone course, which is currently 2 spaces on that now, because 2 guys have moved back to another course. And also I've also got the one-to-one courses that are sort of booked and organised between me and that person as and when. So yeah, that's it. I've got to sit down and work out the next quarter of the year, the dates, which I haven't done yet, but that will be out soon. But anything of mine can be found on the website and booked through the website. So the best thing for flooring stuff, to be honest, is go on the website under training, and you can see everything there, or get in touch on social media. So yeah.
Are you surprised at how much interest you've got? Because there's a lot talking about it.
yeah. Well,
and the reviews have been brilliant.
I've been helping a lot of people for a long time in the background, you know. So I think if people realise that, when people don't know that, they might think, oh yeah, you know, why is he doing that? But there's obviously a need. You know, I felt there was a need, it could work. And it is, yeah. I am overwhelmed. It's going much better than I thought, touch wood. Don't jinx it, but it's going much better than I thought. And, you know, I've got a load of different ideas and it's only just starting. But I'm also a full-time floor layer. So I'm trying to juggle things at the minute. But no, I'm excited to see what happens going ahead. And I'll go, if the demand's there, it's going to give me a question, isn't it? What do I do if there's a big demand there?
Yeah.
Well, what I was hoping was to see your name for this year's LVT competition, but I've not seen it down yet, Luke.
Do you know what, actually, I keep getting the email because I did put my name back in the hat like last year when it was I think just after the carpet fitter one was done, you know, and it come up saying pre-register. So I did pre-register. I am getting the emails like now, you know, you properly re-enter, but I've decided against it. I think now I've opened the training centre. I've done it once. I made it after myself, so I didn't get to be in the running for winning it. So I didn't finish.
Yeah, but
in time.
You did really well.
Oh yeah, no, I did. Yeah.
You know what? And get straight on your first time to get to Harrogate. Well, you've basically come straight out of a semi-final, and which you've never been to before, and now you've walked into a final, and you've never been before. At least with me, I'd been to the semis a lot. I'd been to a final, so all of that, you know what you're coming to. All you've got to concentrate on your work. You had everything that you'd never been to before in front of you, and you had to do your work, didn't you?
So all that, you know, people say to me now, what's it like? You know, obviously when you're there in that environment, you got, you know, hundreds of
you don't notice
other floor
anyone,
layers just sort of stood there chatting. You know, you get a lot of guys there. It's brilliant for support. You know, I do think this trade, especially in Harrogate, a lot of people that say a lot of crap online, you know, you see them at Harrogate and they're like, hello mate, it's very different, but you know, you get a lot of support. So many people like, you know, support. If you get the odd ones there looking over you going, oh, when do you ever turn up to a job and it's a little box room like that with a little 2 stairs and an island in the middle? Well done. You know, well done, mate. Like, obviously, it's a competition. It's you know, set-up scenarios. Yeah. You would never have this in the real world, obviously. You'd never need to be this finicky, you know. But
you just have to have a laugh with them people.
As everyone see in that instance, you know, I'm my own worst enemy in anything I do. Obviously, I did have the privilege of being in the floor skills competition every year. Obviously, only been in the semi-finals alongside Mr. Nicholas, Paddy, and in that, you know, I ended up having to do my whole bay on the second day because I cocked it up, didn't look at the whiteboard and see that, you know, it didn't have a board all the way around. So I had to complete that on the second day, which I managed to do, but unfortunately didn't get through. But in the fit of the year, you know, what did the other 4 lads do that I didn't? They blacked it out in PS, dropped their planks in. Stupid me. I had mine all compression fit and dry fit in, 9x3 herringbone, all compression fit, dry fitted in up to border, with no glue underneath it. So then next morning, as soon as you start taking it out and you're putting it back in wet set glue, which I wanted to do that because I know that had I pulled it off, it would have been worth extra points using a better adhesive, doing it that way. But I just didn't pull it off. And it got to the point where I knew, you know, I still had the steps to do, the time was ticking, and in the end I was just.
But if you had to do it again, you'd know how to do it now, wouldn't you?
If I'd have pressure sensed it on the first day.
Yeah. But I mean, even if the same thing as you did with that adhesive, once you've done it once, now you know the things that held you up a little bit. That
I just know now I wouldn't use wet set.
Yeah. Well.
Or maybe I would have sort of glued it as I went, but it's hindsight.
Yeah. It's a learning curve. That taught you some lessons, didn't it?
Yeah, massively.
Yeah. Well, all the more so to enter again.
Yeah, but no, for me, I feel like now, obviously, when I'm doing training,
you need to get someone, enter someone.
Yeah,
find someone
well, that's
and
it.
enter them.
Maybe not this one, because obviously the ninja training's only sort of new. But maybe, actually, how far away from Harrogate?
6 months.
Oh yeah, so I've said to guys, I won't be in the competition, but I will 100% be at Harrogate. I definitely want to be out this year, obviously networking, seeing a lot of the guys that would have been on the course, and also supporting the 5 or 6 guys that make it to the final. So no, I won't be in it. My time of doing that is, I don't need the ego side of it, of winning. That's not what it's about for me. But yeah, actually, I'll be more invested in teaching someone to go on and win it. So you're giving me an incentive there, guys.
It'd be interesting to see.
You're going to see people come through your place that you look at and think, this is the man.
Well, yeah.
But mind you, can tell them all. I mean, everyone's going to gain something from it. But you've got a chance of picking someone competent, haven't you? Because you know what you're looking for.
Well, yeah, that's it exactly. But I'm interested to see the how that competition goes this year.
Yeah, I'm interested to see
what's involved. Because the carpet, it's in the carpet. Many years I've been at Harrogate 4 or 5 times now. It's predominantly always been carpet, and that changes. You think, what can they possibly do next year? And it's always like,
well, we know them.
Yeah, but, I know Steve Ramson comes out of all ideas. All of you do, put your heads together and come up with some amazing ideas. But with the LVT, I'm also, I'm excited to see what that bay is and what they've got to do.
It does get a bit harder every year.
Yeah.
But
no.
Because you can see something that's been put in that you thought was going to confuse people, and then you see them just go round it, thinking, right then, it needs to be something better than that.
I also got a good feeling that this might be back to the normal Harrogate this year, because obviously the last few years have been hindered.
Yeah.
Last year we're just getting into
Last year was quite busy,
but then the
it?
Queen, that hindered that. It was going to be a smaller show anyway because of post-COVID. Still, but I think this year should be a nice big show again. Hopefully.
I think it'll be back to normal this year. It's a really good few days, Harrogate. I really look forward to it.
It is.
And like I said last month, you catch up with people, you speak to online. I mean, last time I saw you was at Harrogate. Yeah. You only see a lot of people you speak to at Harrogate. You just speak to them
the cruise that you was going to go on and this, that and the other. Well, my cruise is Harrogate.
That's your holiday.
Yeah.
But no, I definitely want to be at Harrogate, and like I said, at the minute I just plan to be up there as myself with other people, just enjoying the show for once, and look forward to that.
No pressure.
Anyway, that's a wrap, and that's another roundup done. Luke, thanks very much for coming down.
Cheers, Luke.
Thank you very much for having me. I really appreciate it.
And I wish you the best of luck with your training centre, although I think you're going to do really well with it.
We'll come down one of the days.
Definitely, I wouldn't mind coming down, have a film about what you're doing, maybe when you've got a course running, have a chat with the lads. And
definitely, 100%.
Brilliant. But thanks very much for coming down, and cheers, Dan.
Cheers, thank you. Cheers,
See you later.
Thanks for watching.